first taping of the Ha Ha. I really admire you guys for being able to sit tight for 45 minutes and listen to people just spew their opinions at you. I know it's not easy. I know everyone has an opinion nowadays about everything. I asked my friend the other day, I said, oh, do you think the moon landing was real? And she said, I don't care. Which is so refreshing to hear. And I was like, why? And she said, I just feel like we're way past it. I was like, you're so right. But speaking of opinions, I remember when it was like sacrilegious to ask anyone who they voted for in the presidential election. Now it's a first date question. It's very easy. Me personally, I feel like we're well overdue for an animal for president. I went to a town in Alaska where the cat was a mayor, and let me tell you, unemployment was at an all-time low. And the murder rate was close to 0, but you know, nobody's perfect. I'm a senior, I'm graduating in May, I'm applying to jobs. The job market is tough, and it makes it a little bit easier knowing that like I'm never gonna get my dream job, which I know sounds funny, but like, trust me. And I know you're thinking, Jessie, shoot for the stars, never give up on your dreams. But it is physically unattainable for me to be a drug-sniffing dog at the airport. So I feel a little bit better about like not being able to reach that. But you know, I feel like applying for jobs is a little bit like being a birthday clown. You have to show up to this single-family home, which in this analogy is a Starbucks, and you have to act so excited to be there. And you're making birthday balloons and balloon animals, and in this analogy, that's a cover letter. And it's just very humbling, and it's what I'm trying to say is that it's not easy to stay motivated, but I will say the one thing about our presidential candidates is that they really set a good example for working well into your 80s, which is great representation for someone who's never going to see their Social Security. And speaking of the economy, I was saying to my friend the other day, I feel like we're one white male comedian away from the next economic recession. So unlucky for you guys because there's 4 up next. Please welcome Benji Stern. Yeah, Benji!
And to me, I'm white male, comedian number 1. How's everyone doing tonight?
Yeah.
I'm glad to see everybody here. We just got back from spring break last week. How was everyone's spring break?
Very good.
I was not so good. I was telling everybody for a very long time. I was saying, I'm going to the Grand Canyon. I'm going to see some rocks. We see some rocks. I was going to see, it was going to be great. About a month before spring break, I get a call from my mom. She says, hey Benj, I'm Benj. She says, I've got some news. Instead of Grand Canyon, I was thinking Alabama. So that's not exactly the news that I was hoping to hear from my mom, but I get on the airplane to Alabama. And the very first person that I see on the plane, first row, is this very scraggly looking man with a white t-shirt that says impeach Biden. It is about the most Alabama thing you can get. And the thing was, that wasn't even the strangest part about this man. He was wearing flip-flops on an airplane. and just veiny feet. Long toenails. It was rough. It should not be open air. His feet. And I didn't know where to look, so I didn't know, like, his feet, his shirt, I just saluted him and walked past. We get to Alabama. We get to Orange Beach, Alabama, which is surprisingly beautiful. It's, you know, it's right on the Gulf of Mexico. It's powder, like sand like powder. It's really gorgeous. And everything seems really normal at first. We get in, we check in, there's an older couple in the lobby, and we chat. There's some kids running through. But when we get to the beach, that's when we see it. Swarms of high schoolers. It's everywhere you look. They were playing spike ball. They were playing in the water. flirting. It was horrible. It was horrendous. And my brother and I, we were committed, we were dedicated to have a good time. And I brought my trusty hacky sack. Luckily, we had my hacky sack, and we're hacking back and forth. We get bored. We create this game called Death Sack. If you've never played Death Sack before, it's up and coming. And you hack it back and forth for a little bit, and at a certain point, you're allowed to grab this hacky sack. Grab the sack. And you chuck it at the other person as hard as you can to inflict the most amount of pain possible. Which, if you don't understand that game, you never wanted to kill your brother. But one of his throws, it hits my neck, and it leaves a big purple bruise. And later that night, we're eating dinner, I'm forking spaghetti in my mouth. Mom made it, it's not great. And she looks at me, my mother. She says, "Where did you get that bruise?" And I look at her and I tell her, I said, "Danny gave it to me." I had to walk that one back quickly. But that wasn't nearly as painful as having to tell everybody back at school that I did not, in fact, go to the Grand Canyon. And in fact, I went to Alabama. One of those people was my lovely girlfriend, Allie. She is lovely, but she's she's smart, she's beautiful, she's funny, she makes me laugh all the time, and she's really cool. And I couldn't tell you why she wants to be with me, because I'm cool. Yeah. In fact, when we were first getting to know each other, all I could think about, I just wanted to kiss her, And so, what do you do when you're a sophomore in college and you meet a girl that you want to kiss? Well, you invite her over to your frat house living room. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I said Jen. Late at night, and want to come over? She says yes. It's Saturday night. We're in the living room. We're scrolling through Netflix, and we come across this movie, star-studded cast. It's about this eclectic entrepreneur, bit of a scoundrel, and he's trying to revive his dying business. And if you've guessed it by now, it's the animated musical comedy Sing. So we're watching Sing, right? And I'm not making any moves. Nothing. I mean, there's not nothing. An arm around her, no counting shoulders, no big yawn, nothing. It was rough. We watched the entirety of the movie Sing. All of it. All 139. The credits are rolling. We're about a foot more. And it's quiet. And she's looking at me. And I'm looking at her. And I say, "Want to watch Sing 2?" So we turn on Sing 2. I learned later she reluctantly said yes to. But we're watching Sing 2. I'm failing to make any kind of move. We get to the end of Sing 2. It's really good. And she gets up to go. And I stop her. I say, "Wait! Allie, I'm not small." She said, "No, you're not." But she leans in to kiss me, and right before she does, she stops. And she looks down and she says, "Are you wearing an impeached Biden t-shirt?" We have the very handsome, the very talented, the multi-talented Mr. Jessie Riback.
You know what I
I don't understand? Using your phone while you're peeing at the urinal. Now, is whatever you're doing really that important? It can't wait 1 minute? I mean, unless you're an older fella and it takes a little bit to get it going. But still, what if you drop it in? It's just dumb. So just this last week, I go to the bathroom and I see my friend taking a whiz at the urinal. And guys do this thing, I don't know if you know this, where you sneak up behind them and you shake them a little bit. It's a prank. Us men are not complex creatures. You give us a baseball bat, some things to smash, oh, we're entertained. So I go up behind him, I shake him a little bit, not realizing his phone is in his right hand. The phone splashes in the urinal. We both turn, he looks at me. His penis in his left hand. His right hand now empty. We argue. You pick it up. You pick it up. You pick it up. You pick it up. I sure as hell wasn't picking it up. He sure as shit wasn't picking it up. We were like a lovey-dovey couple who just wouldn't hang up the phone. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. Interrupting this was a loud but consistent fart coming from the stall. A man had been in here this entire time. And then he said in a raspy voice, well, I'm sure as hell not getting it. This January, I was privileged to go on the Holocaust journey. I went to Germany, Poland, and the Czech Republic to see the horrors and monstrosities of World War II and the Holocaust. And while I was there, I took pictures to remember and to show to those who couldn't see it for themselves. And I don't know if you know this also, but Apple Photos creates memories for you. It takes all the pictures you've taken in a similar location, makes a slideshow, and they play a happy song behind it. That trip to the beach, the mountains, or Germany and Poland. And so I get home from the Holocaust journey, I get a notification on my phone. Your trip to Auschwitz. So I open it and I play the memory of my trip to Auschwitz, and it might seem crazy what I'm about to say, but Happy by Pharrell Williams starts blasting. Happy by Pharrell Williams. Or pictures of gas chambers, concentration camps, ghettos. It's Happy by Pharrell Williams. I did not feel like a room without a roof. I did not feel like happiness was the truth. Apple Photos must realize that not all memories are happy. Some are sad, some are angry, and some, well, they're the Holocaust. Taking out my ukulele, don't worry, not playing Happy by Pharrell Williams. Also in Europe, I went to the RLD. If you don't know what that is, it's the red light district. If you don't know what the red light district is, that's something to do with prostitution. You can fill in the blanks later. And don't worry, I didn't go in anywhere. I'm not going to pay all that money for a minute of service. So while I'm walking down the road, we see women in the window. And that sparked the idea for this song. I started taking lessons when I was about 5 years old. And I remember the first lesson quite well. The instructor asked to speak to my mom. And they weren't that far away. I could hear everything they were saying. And the instructor told my mom, your son will never, ever learn how to play any instrument his entire life. Well, guess what, Brad? He was right. So instead of playing, I'll be reciting this song as a poem. It's called The Woman in the Window, if you didn't catch that already. All right. Red lights shine up and down the road, but she's not wearing any clothes. What used to be a dream is now reality. When I'm with her, babe, there's no gravity. Woman in the window, watching me pass through. Woman in the window, how can I get to you? Behind her eyes lie 1,000 souls. You better believe she doesn't have those moles. Her eyes twinkle like the bright night sky, and I always tinkle when I say goodbye. Woman in the window, watching me pass through. Woman in the window, how can I get to you? Red lights flicker. Pimps, they bicker. You're gonna miss that stripper when it gets caught in your zipper. That song and many others are available on my next album that comes out in May. Don't worry, not gonna plug anymore. Up next we have the funniest person I know, a man of many, many hats, and his parents are even here supporting him. Please welcome Adam Arno.
Yes, my parents are here. I'm going to go on a pause for my parents. I'm out here so I could get an easy round of applause at the beginning of the set. Thank you for that. I'm going to be vulnerable for a moment. Because I have a huge problem. I own 55 hats. That's a lot. One might even say, too many. I've known him as the hat guy among my friends, which was fun at first, until we got to 58 hats. That's right, I got 2 more right now. They just appeared. I don't have the space anymore, y'all. I was easy to shop for gifts. Oh, he wants a head covering? I can get him a head covering. There's so many head covering options. Just give me money. I'm sure that hat would look better on you. It must be hereditary, because look at these lovely hats. They totally weren't given these hats before the show, for this exact moment. Okay, so no more hat jokes. So I grew up Jewish and in a small town, so obviously that means all my medical professionals are my dad's golfing buddies. I first noticed this with my pediatrician, because I'd see him outside the doctor's office, where he's not supposed to be. The real teacher in a grocery store situation. Oh yeah, how are you doing? Oh, great. That very light conversation you would have in this moment. And it was fine, except when it wasn't. He was like small talk, because he knew the family, he was around. He would say to me, hey, maybe you should lay off your dad's brisket. My hands are very much off right now. Please just tell me to cough. Your hands are so cold. I'll never know. Dad does make a good brisket, though. My mom actually makes a brisket, but don't mention her enough in this stuff. So I don't go to a pediatrician anymore. If everyone was wondering, I'm a big boy. Go to a big boy doctor. I guess. When I was transitioning to this doctor, my dad asked me, hey, do you want a doctor who understands your situation? So I recently come out to him. Oh, do you mean I want a gay doctor? He's like, no! You want to understand, your own situation. Sure, Dad, I'll have a gay doctor. And then he got me a fucking woman. Nothing against women in medicine. I'm sure she's very qualified. But I can't live on my doctor-patient fantasies with her. Sure, I'll bend over for the prostate exam, but her hands just aren't as cold. Yeah, these guys just figured that joke out. It's gonna happen at some point, y'all. It's just a thing. His age. So I found out from my many medical professionals, my allergist, who I think he plays golf with on like Sundays, that I'm allergic to dust, which is a dumb fucking allergy. I used to like antiquing, which is very white of me. There's a lot of dust there. What's even worse is anyone here allergic to pollen?
Yeah.
The pollen, it's like trees are doing their thing. Well, I'm allergic to both, which is a vicious cycle. Oh, you want to escape the dust? Just go outside. But wait, now there's yellow dust. Oh, just go back inside, but now the other dust is there. But then you'll die one day, and then you become the dust. Outside! It's a bit... My life is so hard. It's not even like a cool allergy that comes with superpowers. Like, you know when you're allergic to peanuts, you get the power to ruin parties? We've all been there before. We sign up for the potluck. We're typing in the group chat, and then Simon starts texting. Hey guys, don't forget, I'm allergic to peanuts. Can you make sure shut the fuck up, Simon! I would say, wait, this is peanut butter. I know it's a small contribution, but they're great. Like, okay. I think if we didn't invent EpiPens, this problem would just be over. Like, funny. Like, I get it. I love Simon. He's kind of funny, his souffle's great, but is he better than the chocolatey peanut butter combination that is the Reese's peanut butter cup? I do not think so. We're kidding ourselves. We think he's better than the, maybe you can have it in cereal, there's like mini I just really like Reese's peanut butter. And I really, let's see. What else do I say? Oh, anyone here work? Anyone have jobs? Yeah, having fun. I got a job for the summer. If you can't tell by looking at me, I'm a camp counselor. I could classify it as a job. You don't get paid. But hey, it's fun because I made it fun. The kids suck. To make it fun, I once made a person while I was there. It's pretty easy. I'm pretty good at it if I don't say so myself. All I did is I went to a cabin, and I said, hey, my name's Adam. And then I left. Still following? We're good? Okay, cool. Then I went back to that same cabin, and I did something very subtle. See if you can pick up on it. Gasp. Hey, my name's Michael. I thought your name was Adam. Nope, that is my twin brother. He wears a hat on account of his misshapen head. Don't bring it up. No, he's very sensitive about it. And that was the end of my questioning from these kids. They're like, oh, okay. And I, could have gone about my day. That Michael fizzled out into the distance. No. I put more effort into Michael than I did my actual job. And you just saw what I had to do. It was not rocket science, people. Michael was fun and all, except the issue with him is that I've been working at that camp for many years prior, and Michael shows up, and the kids liked him more than me. They would make Michael friendship bracelets, like these. And then when Adam, me, would get caught wearing them, Michael was the hero. He was such a nice brother who gave Adam friendship bracelets because no one likes Adam. Those kids were mean. And I was mean to them as Michael, but it never sticked. So, it went as far as the kids would come up to Michael to complain about Adam. Michael, you never believe what Adam said to me. What did he say? He said he doesn't like me. Man, how do you get on that level? Comfort the crying child, You should have made him a friendship bracelet. I don't always have that, y'all. So, I've told that story a lot before, and I never tell people what happened. Bring this back on. I feel hello, my name is Mike. I'm Adam, whatever my name is. I never tell people what happened to Michael the next year because I worked at that camp another year. So, no one could really agree on what happened. And me and Michael went back and forth on it a lot. And so we come to the conclusion that, so when a camper would come up to me, Adam, hey Adam, where'd Michael go? I would just look at them. Oh, Michael? And then just run off. That's why I didn't work at that camp the next year. They were not happy with that. Michael's actually here tonight. Give a round of applause for Michael, everyone. Pay attention, y'all. Y'all have a less attention span than a child. Ask questions. As I mentioned earlier, I am Jewish. People think that we control the world. Trust me, we don't. We're way too busy. Have you ever tried planning something with one of us? We have so many holidays. Oh, you want to get lunch next Tuesday? Oh, no, sorry, I have Tu B'Shvat. I have to go worship a tree. That is a real holiday. This area of the crowd will know what it is. No one knows what Tu B'Shvat. I think it's a tree holiday. I know this tree is involved. If you have any questions, just Google it. I wish we did control the world. Not for any heroic reasons. I'm selfish. And I'll make a few personal changes if I, have the reins. Like, have you ever been driving home on a Sunday, and all you want is a chicken sandwich from your favorite Christian chicken sandwich establishment? First thing I do is open Chick-fil-A on Sunday, y'all. It's such an easy change. We've all been there. We get into the drive-thru. I'll have a... fuck. Is it? No. I thought... Then you drive and defeat and go to McDonald's. I would open it up on Sunday. It would be closed Saturday, the real doors day. It would be open back on Sunday. It's much easier. Okay. Second thing. So I'm from Atlanta. Luckily, no one in here will tell me I'm not. I'm OTP, if you know what that means. I'm from Atlanta, and the something that we know is traffic. And the way to fix it is to add lanes to the highway. And I think that's a great solution, except the execution is wrong. I would add a lane for me. Personal lane that goes to Chick-fil-A, you know. Like, I'm not greedy, y'all, and I know how long it takes to do construction. A while. I'll take one of the already existing 10 lanes. And I don't need an end lane. I'm not greedy, y'all. I'll take the median. Just let me drive the median. I'll tell people to go to that side or go to that side. We'll figure it out. My last change. Have anyone ever been to Disney World? You know, like the fast pass system? I want that for life. I want people to go to the ice cream on like the hottest day of summer. I want there to be a huge line. I want little Susie who's been collecting all of her little coins and stuff, who like would actually been doing her chores, to be like waiting there. And there'd be like one scoop left in the and then I scroll up, she's been waiting all day. Sorry, and then just walk. Gotta get yourself a fast pass. Maybe I'm just impatient. Like, you know, which is surprising because I'm Jewish. We're known to be patient. Think about it, we're still waiting on that Messiah to show up. It's been 5,000 years, he's coming, guys, I swear. Just like all my other friends to this event. I really love the 85 boys for being here. Filling up the seats. And whatever fraternity max is. But, I'm gonna do this. I've been having some car trouble recently. I was driving, you know, where you have car trouble, and my back windshield shattered, which is strange, because I don't think it's supposed to do that. I didn't hit anything this time, and I was in a good neighborhood, so I wasn't getting shot at. I pulled over, and I called up Mom. I'm like, hey, random thing just happened. My back windshield shattered. Was it cold out? Yeah. Was your defroster on? Yeah. Well, there's the issue. And then he hung up on me. Which is not something I thought they could do. I did not feel very customarily served in that moment. So I bring my car in. I found out it's a defect, which is good to know. It was not intended. Because if the defroster was on and it was too cold out, the defroster would heat up too much. I'm not a scientist, and like something would shatter. Basically, the defroster shattered. When they ended up fixing it, I asked, hey, can I use my back defroster now? And the guy looks at me. He goes, you can try. I love Honda customer service. They really care about the customer. They added a new feature to my car without me either wanting it or asking for it. Think of the possibilities. Maybe I'm dating someone. I know, crazy. They're in the passenger seat. We're driving. Adam, can we talk just about us, about our future, where things are going, our opinions on Sing? Oh, of course we can talk. That's strange. I think my back windshield just shattered. How about I get out of the car? I get up. We'll talk later. I'm gonna go get AAA, and I run off. You can keep the car. Maybe my friend is in the passenger seat, just a friend. We're going to get food. I forget my credit card again. And so they pay. Get the food. Hey, Adam, what's your Venmo so we can get this squared away? Oh! I always forget my change. Oh my God, that's so strange. I think my back windshield just shattered. This is so out of the ordinary. How about you give me the food, get out of my car. Just drive away. I got not Venmoing you. It's not a task to send a Venmo, by the way. Anyone who thinks it is lying to you. They're on their phone saying, I'll Venmo you later. No. My dad's in the passenger seat. Adam, your back windshield shattered 6 times this month. What's the deal? I know, it's so crazy. Oh my God, I can't believe it happened again. Needless to say, I asked for 6 backup windshields on Honda. Honda, getting out of Communciations since 2023. If you want to learn more about Honda, go to your local dealership and ask for Lynn. She will set you up with that same capabilities that her lovely Honda HR-V has. I wish I was paid for that. Of course, I paid for it. I've said a lot of things tonight that my parents will remember and bring up to me later. If you had any problems with anything I said, again, you can talk to them. It's their fault. It's basically who I am. Thank you so much, and now I have the pleasure of introducing the head of the improv club in a fraternity, Mr. Max Wyatt.
Thank you. Someone once Venmo requested me $2.30 for like a $5 Uber. I'm not paying that at all. That's just gonna sit there forever. You're never getting that money. I'm sorry. That's just like, if that's what you think our friendship's at, like it's not. It's not like that. Thank you all for being here. Shout out the crew that just has to force to be here. So that's awesome. No round of applause for you. That's fine. I didn't really know what to wear to this. I almost like put on a suit, but then I thought I could just wear my good jeans. So that's what these are. These are my school jeans. I like to cuff them because I have a symptom called candlestick legs, so it gives them more volume. I put on this shirt. This is a shirt from Telluride, Colorado. Which is a pretty cool place, and I know what you're thinking. Wow, Telluride, Colorado. This guy is so well-traveled. That must have been such a life-changing experience. And you're right, it was. For the people that went, it was not me that got to go. Telluride happens to be a bucket list destination for me, and my parents, instead of getting me a ticket to go with them, got me a t-shirt at the airport, which is nice. It's a cool gesture. They said to me when they gave it to me, they go, we wanted you to know that we were thinking about you while we were there. And that's sweet, but that's not what this did. It serves as a constant reminder every time I wear it that I'm just not good enough. Every time I wear it, people are like, oh my God, Telluride, Colorado, tell us all about it. It feels like somebody with my same name won the lottery, because like I get to read all about it and see pictures of that guy having the best life ever. But it's not me, it's them. You know who else it was? My brother, he got the invite, he got to go. And sent me a lot of funny pictures of him having the time of his life. But it's not like they did that on like an important weekend, like Elon Parents weekend or anything. That's exactly when they did it. Exactly when they went on the last weekend that they had ever visited me at this school, and they were like, oh, we're gonna go. So, glad they had fun, it's fine. I get to travel a fair enough amount. I'm very thankful for that, but travel has started to stress me out more and more, and it's because of a conversation that I had with my surgeon after he put a metal plate in my collarbone, and I was worried about, talking to TSA and everything, and trying to cool me down, he told me that, don't worry, titanium doesn't set off metal detectors. I was like, don't tell anyone else that. Don't spread that knowledge to anybody. That seems like something that you should be on a need-to-know basis for. And I can think of a lot of people that don't need to know that and would do very precarious things with it. And I don't know, not enough people listen to the safety briefings on planes. I was on a flight last weekend, coming back from spring break, and they were like, I was in the exit row, and they were like, at a nice southern flight, and she was like, go ahead and look at the cards in your seat back. Not a single person made the move to read it. So if anything did happen, we'd be screwed. And nobody listens to the PA, and that's because they overuse it. They just let the pilot talk about nothing, and nothing that he says is important. And I know that because I was on an international flight with Jessie to Germany, and on those flights, they have to translate everything that the flight attendants say to German. So, because it's like two people from like different countries or whatever, and so they speak different languages, and every single thing that the flight attendants said was translated. After the pilot started talking, they just hung up the thing. They didn't even try, which must be wildly frustrating for the German-speaking people on the plane who are trying to watch Sing 2, and they simply can't because the PA announcement has gone on the entire time, and they can't get a word in. He's trying to tell us what the weather's going to be and what flight height we're going to fly at, which is all just common knowledge now. We have phones to check the weather, and everyone knows that they fly at 35,000 feet. Like, you can just put that away and do your job, buddy. Like, no one needs to hear from you anymore. Just fly the plane, which is also done by a robot, so I don't even know why you're here in the first place. So that doesn't really make sense to me. But yeah, planes and stuff. But they hide information in the safety briefing. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there's technological advancements being had, and we're all behind on it. I've talked about this before, but they have something called water-activated lights in. Does anyone know about this? Okay, then you guys need to listen more on the planes, because they talk about it on every flight, which is if there's a water landing that takes place, you'll be given a life jacket to inflate when you leave the plane. But on every single life jacket, there's a water-activated light. And they just slip that fact in there, like they don't have the solution to renewable energy. Water-activated light, like you mean hydropower? You mean the thing that everybody's been trying to solve for the last 15 years? And like that's Nobel Prize level shit. But they won't win one because the people that award the prizes also don't listen on the planet. And also, like, let's be honest, they don't want to give it to Delta. Like, Delta can't win a Nobel Prize. So people are going to keep searching for this information even though it's right under your nose. I'll never get it. I'll never understand when they invented that, how they figured that out, and why they chose to put it on an airplane. That just won't make sense to me. Ever. Another thing that doesn't make sense to me, first is, I don't hang out at a lot of construction sites. I'm not a constructioner. But every construction site that I've ever walked by or happened to visit, I've never seen a guy check the plans or the blueprints. Like Bob the Builder, every TV show ever, there was always a guy with the blueprints. He'd be like, yep, that's going there. This is going to be the roof and everything. Is it not just like big Legos? Like I built Legos all the time. And every single brick, I had to check the booklet. Like between every single one of them. I went to my house that was being renovated, and people were just walking around with 2x4s, just putting them in and hammering them willy-nilly, which I don't use lightly. Like they were just kind of moving shit around wherever they wanted to. Like this will sit, this will stand there, and it really concerned me. But my dad was fine with it, and my dad's a handyman. And the only reason I know that is because he does three things, or he has three things. One, he has a Leatherman. Does anyone here's dad have a Leatherman? Like, he wears that thing everywhere. I'm pretty sure I saw him put it on before he went in the pool, which is important, because you never know when you'll need a nail file, 3 screwdrivers, and a fucking, what's it called?
Measuring tape.
Yeah,
Pliers.
sure, that one. Pliers, all in one. You never know. Also, he has 3 measuring tapes, which are all the same length, but he uses them for different materials. I don't know why. I guess he doesn't want to cross-pollinate, which I get. And this last one is going to sound a little weird, but you got to stick with me. He uses his mouth like it's a third hand. And if you have a handyman dad, you know what I mean. Like, in his right hand, he'll have a hammer. In his left hand, he'll have the nail that he's about to hit. And in his mouth, 7 other nails, 2 loose bolts, and the instructions to whatever he's building. Because he's a real handyman, he knows. I don't know why, you just, you have pockets, or just like, leave it on the ground, and he's like, no, it's for the deck. Okay, that's fine. There was one day I was trying to get in my car, and it had rained the day before, and there was a suspicious puddle behind my car, and I was worried. I was like, is that water or is my car leaking oil? And he goes, oh, it's oil. And like, how do you know what oil tastes like, and why is that your first move? That's just like a thing that dads know, I guess, that oil tastes like that. Troubles me to this day. But that's just a dad fact. My dad used to quiz me on like dad facts / dad jokes when I was growing up. Like we'd be in a car and he'd be like, hey, do you know why they build fences around graveyards? It's because people are dying to get in. Which is a great dad joke. It's humorous, it's informative, and it's not too far off from why they build fences around pools. Does anyone know why they build fences around pools? It's because they were worried about babies crawling in and drowning. Which is a true thing, and it's a fair concern to have. But I am more concerned about the seemingly large population of free-range babies in the United States. The people are just letting them loose. Like those people should not have kids. Take those kids away. That's not good. So I guess, yeah, build those fences. That's a fear. I'm in fear of that. Babies are in trouble now. There's things that I fear. As I've grown older, I realized that growing up is realizing that everybody has fears. Like even like adults have fears. Like do you guys have fears? Do you have any weird fears? Anything that jumps out? You're wearing a bucket hat still, and I fear you. You don't fear anything. No, please, don't let it be me then. Yes, you, please.
He's scared of roller coasters.
Okay, you're scared of roller coasters?
I hate roller coasters.
Like is it an upside down thing?
No, upside down, circle like that, whatever.
Oh man.
Nice.
Wow, and did you talk about Disneyland earlier?
He didn't go with me.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's brave. Wow, that's great. Just for Adam?
Yep.
That's really sweet. Anyone else over here? Weird fear? Anything strange? You, on the floor. Yeah.
Chairs.
Yeah. There's a lot of them in this room. You did the best job you could by avoiding them, so that's good. But honestly, the ground is nature's chair, so facing your fears right in front of us. That's cool. I grew up fearing this thing that people used to hold above my head called the permanent record. Did anyone else get threatened by the permanent record? Like, don't go to that class? Well, that'll go on your permanent record. Don't do well on that test, they're putting that on your permanent record. Has anyone seen their permanent record? Of course not. That shit doesn't exist. And I feel like I missed out on a lot of really cool shit in my life because I was so worried. Oh, man, people are gonna hear that I was 10 minutes late to class one time. And it made me a worse friend. It really did. It made me a really bad friend. And I'm going to tell you a story. And you can't judge me for it because you all laughed that the permanent record is scary. So, and me and this guy are still friends to this day. But I used to walk to school every day with this kid, Nate. He's still one of my closest friends back home. But Nate wasn't a morning person. Sometimes Nate would take a little bit too long to get ready. I kind of have to go. And so we get like halfway to school and there's this path that we used to walk on. It's like a dirt path, and next to it, there's like a pond-ish. It's like really small. It's just like a large. It's a large puddle. It's like maybe a foot deep. It's like kind of marshy around it. But in the dead of winter, it would freeze over. And so I said, hey, how about we like have a bit of a race? And then we can kind of like jog the rest of the way to school and we won't be late. I'll run on the land and you'll run on the ice. And he was like, that sounds like a great idea. I was like, I know, it was my idea. And so, but what he didn't take into account was it was March. And it wasn't necessarily ice, it was ice adjacent. So some might call that slush or also just water. So I go, I'm Mark, take go. And I take off, cooking him. And that's mainly because he's in the water now. So I turn around, I go, oh my God, Nate. And so he's got like both his hands on his back, and he's kind of like, and so his phone was in his hand. So the first thing I did was I grabbed the phone. I was like, see, I care about you, because to a middle schooler, the phone is very important. So I help him up, and he's like, Max, we gotta go home, I gotta change. I look at him, and I look at where the school is. I go, you could go. I'm not gonna be late to class. He goes, what do you mean? I go, here, I'll do this for you. I'll call my dad, he works nearby, he can drive you home and get you to class on time. He was kind of like, okay. And as soon as he said okay, I was like, he's already on his way. Because dude, I want to get into college. Also, they didn't ask for it when I applied to college, which is wrong for them, because they should have. And my dad pulls up, and he was the person who was always on me for permanent record stuff. And so he gives me a nod, because I already told him the situation, and I go. And I would love to say that I covered for Nate the rest of the day with teachers that we had classes with, but I covered that shit up like it was a mob hit. I swept that thing under the rug. They were like, have you seen Nate? I was like, who, Nate? I don't know who Nate is. I haven't talked to him in a week or so. Probably stopped asking about it. And friends were worried, and Nate didn't make it to school that day. And you have every right to be mad at me for that. What you should be really mad at is the system, okay? The system is what did that to me and Nate, and that's why I got into Elon. Thank you guys, good night.
Guys, I just checked the stock market and we're safe for now. Thank you guys so much for coming to the Ha-Ha. If you want to follow up on more news about Elon Student Television and the Ha-Ha, follow us on Instagram at Elon Student TV, and this will be released shortly. Thank you for coming.